Hi guys, it's me Chrissy, and I just wanted to sit here for a minute and have a talk with you guys about what it takes to lose all the weight that I've lost. I've been with Infinity Hoop for going on 2 years now, 26 months actually, so a little over 2 years. And Infinity Hoop has absolutely changed my life in so many ways. So many ways. I get excited talking about it, so I'm glad to bring this video to you so I can tell you what worked for me. So I am 58 years old. I'll be 59 October 11th. So I'm almost to my 59th birthday. And I am smaller now than I've been since the mid to late 1980s, since I started having babies. I grew up very small. I'm 4'10" in height, 4'11" with my shoes on. And I have had 4 children by cesarean section. I had those babies in 1986 to 1996, all by C-section. So it's hard to lose weight when you've had your abdomen sliced open 4 times. So I gained a lot of weight pretty rapidly throughout the 80s and 90s having children. Gave birth to my 4 kids, and I went from 99 pounds was what I weighed post or pre-pregnancy to closer to 250 or so, and I carried that weight most of my adult life. Weighed about 200 to 250 pounds. I sure did. My husband always said I carried it well, but I was a big girl. I was a big girl. I had great big boobs, a great big butt, great big gut, great big thighs. I was big all over. And I have lost almost entirely every pound that I needed to lose. I'm pretty much to goal. I'm 5 pounds away from my goal weight. My goal weight is 120 pounds. I figure I'm not trying to get back to 99. I'm trying to get to 120, and I'm at 125 right now. Yeah. I lost a lot of the boobs. They're a lot smaller now. I lost a little of the butt. Lost a lot of hips, lost a lot of thighs, lost a lot of weight in my face. I've lost weight all over. And now what I'm working on is toning. I do a lot of Pilates. I do Pilates twice a week. I do my Infinity Hoop every day for 30 minutes or more, depending on how I'm feeling, how much energy I've got. Plus, I use resistance bands, I use dumbbells, and I eat a proper diet, and I like to go to the gym, and I'm a big avid hiker. I spend a lot of time walking around in the woods and doing incline hikes. I like to do those stair-step hikes, climbing up the mountains where I live here for now. I've been living here in Colorado Springs for 15 years, but I'm about to move back home to the Midwest. Yeah, I was born in California. I'm actually from Long Beach. I was raised in Des Plaines, Illinois until high school, and my freshman year, we moved. My folks divorced, and we moved, and I was then raised in Indiana. And I stayed in Indiana, Michigan area, up in the Northeast Indiana and Michigan area. I stayed in that area most of my adult life. I got married 4 times out there. I had my 4 children out there. I got divorced 3 times out there. And anyway, I've lived most of my life in the Midwest. But 15 years ago, my husband and I, after some family tragedies, like a suicide and financial issues and just some troubles, you know, we decided let's pick up and move and try something new somewhere different. And I was a huge rodeo fan. I was a huge Grizzly Adams fan. I grew up as a kid loving Grizzly Adams, watching Grizzly Adams in the Rocky Mountains, and I had dreams of the Rocky Mountains. I just wanted to go to the mountains really, really bad, so I talked my husband into picking up and moving from the Midwest to Colorado Springs, and we've been here in Colorado Springs for 15 years. And we've been very successful. I had a great career out here, worked in hotel department management for many, many years, made a good living, have had a good life, have seen great places and done wonderful things and had the most fun out here in Colorado. I've loved my life here. I love Colorado. I'm not dissing on Colorado. I'm not leaving Colorado because I hate Colorado. I absolutely adore Colorado. It is home. But I miss my kids and my grandkids and my sons-in-laws and my friends from my old stomping grounds. I miss that more than I love my life here in Colorado. I've enjoyed Colorado, and I've done everything there is to do out here. I've seen all the really cool places. I've done all the really cool things. Sorry, I'm a little bit disheveled today. I'm packing my home to move, so I'm just stopping to take a break and talk to y'all about weight loss. So let's get into it. Let's talk about what I did to lose 169 pounds over 26 months. Here's how I did it. 1, Infinity Hoop. This product is amazing. It's a miracle. It is. It took me Years and years and years and years of struggling on every diet, every fad, every pill, everything you could imagine. I tried it all. Nothing worked for me. I could not lose that stubborn cortisol belly. I could not lose that C-section belly. I could not lose weight no matter what I tried. It didn't matter if I ate like a mouse. It didn't matter if I went to the gym. It didn't matter what I did. I couldn't lose the weight. I was stuck until I got that hoop. It changed my life because it's fun, because I enjoy it, because I can put it on every day and do it, and it doesn't feel like a workout. It feels like I'm dancing. Yeah, that's how it feels to me. I enjoy it, and I find that it's easy to stick with something if you enjoy it, and I enjoy hooping. I love hooping. I loved hula hooping as a child. It was something I enjoyed doing all the time, and as an adult, I enjoy weighted hula hooping. Yeah, I still enjoy a regular hula hoop too. I do have one of those. I do, but I enjoy the weighted hula hoop because I've lost so much weight so fast, so rapidly using this tool. It works. Okay, what else did I do? Okay, for the first year, all I did was hoop for 30 minutes a day, about 5 days a week, sometimes 6 or 7, depending on how I felt, but 5 days for sure. And I would try to get about 5,000 to 10,000 steps in a day. Just walking my dog, walking around the neighborhood, walking on my walking pad, my treadmill. Walking did a lot for me. I walked every day. For the first year, I tried to get a minimum of 10,000 steps a day was my goal. Sometimes I got more closer to 5. Sometimes I got 25. I even had a 50,000 step day. Me and my friend Chrissy. Love you, Chrissy. That's Chrissy. She's lost a shit ton of weight. Yes, she has. And she used the hoop too. Her and I worked out together. We did for about a year. Her and I were nonstop working out together. You too, Heidi, and a lot of my other friends that I met along this journey. Love you, Heidi. There she is. She's doing fabulous too with Infinity Hoop. But I would hoop every day, let's say 5 days a week for the first year, and I ate a sensible diet. I changed my diet, which had been, I worked nonstop in hotel department management, so I rarely had time to be home cooking. I was at work anywhere from 8 to 15 hours a day, anywhere from 5 to 7 days a week, depending on how many people called off. When you're a department manager, you cover a lot of shifts, you wear a lot of hats. So I would work out 5 days a week on my hoop. I was eating terrible before. It was all fast food and garbage, whatever I could get quickly on the way home from work so I could hurry up and get ready to get to bed so I could get up and go to work again. But I got cancer 6 years ago, and when I got diagnosed with cancer, I stepped away from my job. I found Infinity Hoop through Tiff and Carrie, and I got a hoop. I decided, this looks fun. They're losing a load of weight. It looks easy. I don't have to go out of the house to do it. I don't have to go to a gym. I don't have to go anywhere. I can do this at home. So I got one. I bought a hoop, and I started using it, like I said, 5 days a week. And I changed my diet to a mostly plant-based diet. Because of the cancer that I had that I was fighting, my doctors didn't want me eating a lot of red meat. They wanted me to avoid soy. They wanted me to get away from refined sugar. They wanted me to eat more plant-based if I could, because the type of cancer that I had is an estrogen-based cancer. So it was important that I cut dairy, that I cut red meats, that I cut things that might amp up estrogen in my body, because I didn't want to get a recurrence. I've been in remission for 6 years now. So I guess I talk too much. I need to just get with it. Okay, so what did I do to lose 169 pounds? Over the last 26 months, I've hooped every day, at least 5 days a week for 30 minutes or better. I changed my diet to a sensible diet, and I practiced portion control. I stopped eating, I stopped going back for seconds. If I really liked something, I'd always go get some more. I don't do that anymore. I literally eat small portions. I'm very, very mindful about what I put into my mouth and how much I put into my mouth. I've cut refined sugar. The only refined sugar that I get is in the alcohol that I drink now and then, because I do like to have a margarita or a glass of wine now and then. I sure do. I'm not gonna lie. I like to drink. I like to get my drink on. And so there's the refined sugar that I do take into my body, is whatever is in my mixed drinks. I like twisted tea, so I'll drink a couple of those on the weekend, the big ones. I do like those. I stopped eating candy. I stopped eating cake. I stopped eating ice cream. I stopped eating anything that was not good for me, that would just throw empty calories onto my body. After about a year of proper diet, portion control, and hooping, I lost 110 pounds. Yeah, it was slow and steady, but it did come off. Link by link by link, I was losing the weight. And then I decided to amp it up. I started going to the gym, and then I built myself a little home gym. I bought a treadmill, a vibration plate, an exercise bike, resistance bands, Pilates equipment, dumbbells. I bought all kinds of stuff, and I started using that stuff every day. And I'm not gonna lie, for the last 6 months, I've been putting in usually about 2 hours a day working out. I do. This summer, I spent 3 months in the Midwest visiting my adult children and my grandkids, and I spent a lot of time kayaking and swimming and camping and hiking around and going on walks and touring around places and going to music festivals and going to concerts and having VIP sessions. And I had a lot of fun this summer. I really did. I had a great time. One of the best summers of my life. I dropped 40 pounds while I was on vacation, even though I was eating foods like these. Yeah, because I practiced portion control. I kept my protein high, and I would skip out on the potatoes and the bread and just eat anything else. You know what I mean? I was mindful. I was careful. So the weight did come up. Now, I want to be 100% transparent with you. For 3.5 months, I used a GLP-1. I used Wegovy. I got a lot of outside pressure from friends and from people that I knew in my life, not Christy and Heidi, other people, telling me this is working for me, it's working for me, try it, try it, try it. It's so much easier than having to exercise. Just give yourself a shot in the belly. It's great, it's great, it's great. And I fought against it, and I fought against it. No, 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 no. And then finally I said, you know what? Heck with it. I'll give it a try. So for about 3.5 months, I did take Wegovy, and then I quit. And let me tell you why I quit. Did I lose some weight on it? Yeah. I dropped about 20 pounds using Wegovy, doing nothing but just an injection once a week. But it made me nauseous. It made me feel sick. I had no energy. It gave me terrible diarrhea. It made me throw up. The medication, even though it helped me lose weight rather quickly, I hated the way it made me feel. So even though I was losing weight, I had no quality of life. I couldn't do anything or go anywhere. It made me feel sick. It did. It made me feel sick. So I quit. I quit that shit. Sorry about my language. I quit that stuff. And I went back to just hooping in a proper diet and using my other exercise equipment as I felt like it. And to be honest, I'm packing up my house right now. And in 3 months, I haven't used any of this gym equipment because I was in the Midwest, and now I'm home, and my husband has my gym packed up, ready to be moved. So I don't use anything other than my hoop right now and a proper diet. I do replace 2 meals a day, 1 to 2 meals a day, but usually 2, with a smoothie. I'll make a smoothie with some oat milk or almond milk and some frozen fruit and some protein powder and some collagen powder. I also wear the Infinity Hoop GLP boost patches. I wear a patch every day. I sure do, on my abdomen. Got one on right now. I use the Infinity Hoop fat burners. I take that supplement every day. I've been doing that for over a year. I take the berberine by Infinity Hoop. Yep, I sure do. I take that every day. Been doing that for over a year. And like I said, I'm big on collagen. I'm big on biotin. I'm big on protein. I use supplement powders. I make smoothies or shakes. I do that for 2 meals a day, and then 1 meal a day I sit down with my husband and have whatever I'm making for dinner for him. I have a regular dinner. I sure do. And it's been great. It's been working wonderfully for me. I'm having so much success.